Hi, I'm Lee, Master Intimacy Coach and founder of the High Priestess Collective. As modern day women, we're taught how to mold ourselves into these needless, wantless beings with even tempered emotions, never getting too ecstatic or worse, too angry. And we're also taught how to go and do and achieve to the point of burnout just so we can either make a lot of money, win friends, or appear a certain way to people. And to make it worse, if we're too connected to our sexuality, then we're sluts. And if we're too reserved in this manner, then we're prudes who won't put out. On either end of the spectrum, we're fucked. And I do not mean in the good way. Here's the problem: we've been fed a whole lot of bullshit by the media, organized religion, society, and even our communities. We're shown images of size zero models with perfect skin one moment, and then commercials about purses and shoes and clothes that we need to buy to be more like the superstars. This leaves no room for us to just be real. And as if all of that wasn't confusing enough, we're not taught really, really important things like the difference between sexuality and intimacy, how to balance the going and doing and achieving with rest, replenishment, and creativity, how to communicate our needs and boundaries or our emotions and desires, how to not put everyone first, leading ourselves to utter burnout and even worse, to resentment, and how to finally feel at peace within our bodies. Who taught us any of these things? And unfortunately, it gets worse. We feel completely shut down emotionally, guarded, and afraid to open our hearts, even if we're in a relationship. Sometimes it feels like we're at war with our bodies, with the inner health of our bodies, with the shape of our bodies, with the way our bodies look, with how they function, with how they smell. And there's rarely a time where any of us just feels okay to be who the hell we are, without fear of judgment, without fear of loss of love or rejection. Like, seriously, what the fuck? I don't know about you, but I am done living this way. I'm done thinking and feeling like I'm not good enough, smart enough, wealthy enough, whatever other bullshit they could feed us. And I think we've all experienced enough pain to finally be done with that life. I'd like to welcome you to the High Priestess Collective, a deeply supportive community of women just like you who are awakening to who they really are, the power of their thoughts and emotions, the ability to create and contribute to themselves and their communities in profoundly meaningful ways, and a tribe of women who are lifting each other up so that we can all know love, connection, health, and wealth. And listen, I can tell you one thing: I didn't always feel empowered. I didn't always feel confident, and I certainly didn't always feel worthy of the life that I live now. In fact, worthiness was something that I really struggled with my whole life. I grew up in a household where the culture was nothing was ever good enough. And, bless my mother for raising me this way because she wanted the best for me. And at a very early age, I got the idea that I was never good enough, that I needed to earn love, that I needed to get the best grades in order to do that. I needed to behave a certain way. I needed to look a certain way. And whether or not that was the truth, this was the idea that I garnered for myself. And that led throughout my whole life. That contributed to the way I showed up in relationships, the way I showed up at work. Everything I did was a performance or an act just to try and win love and approval. And this even really impacted some of my later relationships in life. I remember one relationship that, I don't know if any of you have seen The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, but if you have, then you might remember in season one where she wakes up, she gets out of bed, her husband's still sleeping, and she goes and takes the rollers out of her hair. She puts her makeup on, she freshens up, and then she hops back into bed right with the alarm, pretending like she woke up looking that way. I thought that was so sad when I saw that scene until I realized, holy shit, that's me. That's what I do. That's what I think that I need to do to keep love. And so I didn't always know what empowerment was. And I was constantly switching things in my personal life, in my business, because I was too afraid to commit to something and fail. And sometimes it takes a lot of pain before we learn our lesson. But I really want to save you from the trial and error, any more pain or heartbreak, suppressed emotions, anger. And that's why I created the High Priestess Collective. And I've been developing this concept over the past few years as I've been on the journey to deep embodiment, to deep security within myself, to surrender to everything that is, and to learning how to really love and accept myself for exactly who I am and where I'm at, no matter what's happening. So, here's a little more about the High Priestess Collective. What you'll receive by saying yes to this amazing opportunity is live weekly Zoom calls. So, we'll be going live every Tuesday. In each call, there will be a live guided meditation or embodiment activity to really drop you in with the other women you're in community with. So consider this a midweek retreat for yourself. You'll also receive a brief teaching on that week's topic with real life examples from both me and my clients. And you'll get an opportunity to receive some hot seat coaching with Q&A. So you can work through any of your specific challenges or desires with my support and the support of your fellow sisters in real time. So I really invite you to join before the enrollment period closes. And truly, if you want to create deeper intimacy with yourself and others, access your sensual and sexual superpowers and use them to create your vision in the world, learn how to become deeply embodied and feel safe and at home within yourself, learn how to balance your masculine going, doing, and achieving with your feminine, nurturing, receiving, and creating energies. If you want to learn how to powerfully and authentically communicate, even in the most challenging of situations, if you want to learn how to access intuitive movement in your body so you can finally just feel free to move and free yourself of tension, stress, and stuck emotions. And if you also want to learn how to do things like work through your menstrual cycle and instead of letting it put you out of commission, then the High Priestess Collective is the collective and the community for you. I invite you to join now because the enrollment period is closing really, really soon, and I'd love to see you in there. Seriously, you're really going to want to be a part of this badass community of women. And when you join, you'll also receive some very juicy bonuses. You'll be added to the private WhatsApp group, so you'll get to receive support and celebrate your wins with other women from the community in between our weekly calls. And in this private space, you'll get the opportunity to be witnessed in your breakthroughs. You'll be able to make requests for support, get your needs met, connect with badass women from across the world, and build a lot of plentiful personal and potentially business connections. You'll also receive regular doses of inspiration. You'll feel more seen and heard and acknowledged than ever before. And truly, that's what we all want. You'll also receive exclusive offers and promotions on products and services that I've created that only members of the High Priestess Collective will get access to. And you will also receive teachings from guest experts, other badass women like you, in the fields of intimacy, psychedelics, neuroscience, spirituality, intimacy and sexuality, and more. So I'm telling you, you are not going to want to miss out on this opportunity. My intention in creating the High Priestess Collective is that all women get to know and feel what it's truly like to be deeply okay within themselves. And even better than okay, to feel freaking stellar about who you are, the gifts you're offering, and how you're choosing to lead your life. I cannot wait to see you inside the collective. So much love to you, sister.